All right, welcome. Let's throttle back here. Maybe you can hear me a little bit better if I throttle back. I know that I could just turn the volume down, but it feels more realistic, doesn't it? That I have to shout to be heard when the engine is at full throttle. Or not quite, but near it. Anyway, you're joining us as we begin our descent into Cabo San Lucas. As it happens, there are two airports down in Cabo. MMSD, which is where we're going, which is the main international airport, and MMSL, which is a smaller airport nearer to the resort city. But I wanted to fly from Puerta Vallarta, where we took off, 40 minutes ago, to the airport that I know. I've flown into MMSD, Mike Sierra Delta, several times. I've been down there, I think 4 times? I think so. And frankly, zoom in here on the MFD. Frankly, there's a published RNAV approach into MMSD, runway 34, and given Flight Sim's bugginess, I'm being optimistic. Maybe it won't be an issue, but it has been an issue. I decided just to play it safe. We'll take the 40-minute drive after we land down to Cabo, the resort proper. I'm showing us, or ForeFlight is showing us 17 minutes to our destination. As I've said before, that will obviously be a little more than that because we're going to slow down. Our UTC, the official time, Greenwich Mean Time, 23:35. On my watch here in Southern California, 4:35. I think, if memory serves, that Cabo's in the same time zone. It might be 1 hour ahead. I can't remember. Anyway, no nighttime approach today. There's the big, beautiful blue Pacific. Descending down to 24,000 at 1,900 feet per minute. Been a very uneventful, clear weather, perfect flight. You can actually see Cabo out there in the distance. There's the mountains. Leveling out here at 24,000. Let's see if they give us further descent instructions. I presume they will. No icing issues whatsoever today, so that's nice. Outside air temperature is -18, -17, but the weather's nice. Down to 20,000, flight level 200, 03 Whiskey Bravo.
Descend and maintain flight level 200, Dr. Trey Whiskey Bravo.
So we're continuing our descent. I sort of consider it the benchmark of good news when I get descent instructions at all. Remember, that's been an issue. I was able to pull up the approach plate for the RNAV runway 34 approach to Cabo San Lucas. Give a shout out to website www.vatmex.com. .mx/cartas, if memory serves, means maps in Spanish, /mmsd.pdf. That gave me a lot of very useful information, including, among other things, the VOR frequency for the airport. A VOR DME transmitter is at the airport. Let's go ahead and enter that in at this point just to give us some navigational information. And I showed it as 114.0. Good. So switch back to the MFD screen. Ooh, that sun's bright. Wow. 50 settings, bearing 1, and bingo. There you go. We're 66.1, 65.9 nautical miles from the airport. Always useful information. I really can't overstate, you know, in this world of RNAV that we live in, where basically RNAV has taken over the world. Airports that do not have ILS, which is sort of the premium approach, precision approach system. It's very nice. RNAV is a very nice substitute. There's a host, look at the wave, the ripples on the water. There's a host of other methods that can be used, non-precision methods that can be used to approach, but I found them to be very complicated. And RNAV is not complicated. RNAV is pretty straightforward. Down to 8,000 there. Here's the problem thing.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet, Dr. Trey Whiskey Bravo.
So I mentioned that that I was able to find some very useful information on that approach plate for the airport at MMSD on the RNAV 34. If you take a look, if I could press the V key and show you our approach waypoints, I would, but I think it'll crash. I don't think, I know it'll crash. But I can show you this at least. Look here, Avuru. You see that? That's one of the waypoints on our approach. That appears on the published non-precision RNAV 34 plate. And we are told that at Avuru, we must be no lower than 4,000, nor no higher than 6,000. That is what's called the IAF, the initial approach fix. Flight's telling me that the altimeter at the airport is 29.82, so we'll check that in a second, but hold on. Then if you see here SD500, I'm told that we must be at 2,000 feet when we reach that waypoint. There's actually one waypoint in between Avuru, which isn't showing up here. I presume it's this, which is SD901, at which we should be at 2,900 feet. So this is very, very useful information. Fuel low? Oh, Jesus. Oh boy, 10 gallons on the left, 9 on the right. Boy, am I glad we're landing. That's kind of funny. Well, I know from training and testing that we may experience a fuel cutout at 7 gallons. So let's see what happens. But we're only 12 minutes from the airport, probably more like 15. And the actual distance to the airport is 59 miles. So, hey, you're here with me. Let's see what happens. This is frustrating because I put enough gas in the goddamn plane. I used the range arc that's available on the setup page, and it showed me with more than enough range to go from Puerta Vallarta to Cabo. So let's see what happens. Anyway, let's check the correct altimeter. I don't remember what it said. FlightScore said. Let's find out. I think it's a 29 or 84. Is that possible? I don't know. We'll find out when I watch this again. Let's see. 29 or 84. Let's now press the B key and find out. Oh, what do you know? That's correct. It turned out 29 or 83. So the sim is loading in correct data from the airport itself. You're getting live weather, or damn near close to it. Continue our slowdown. We're at 14,300 feet, descending to 8,000 feet, and on fumes, really on fumes. So I'm such a square. I should just cross my fingers and hope that we don't have an issue, but I hate to do that. Well, listen, if our engine cuts out, I'm going up here I'm adding gas.
And maintain 9,000 feet.
Down to 9,000. 9,000? You just descended me to 8, cleared me to 8,000,
Descend
dummy.
and maintain 9,000 feet.
Oh,
Tree
boy.
Whiskey Bravo.
Gallons per hour is 41. We have 10 gallons in the left and 7 in the right. I'm not going to risk it. I'm sorry. I'm going to add a little gas. Just a little. Okay. I hate to do that. I really do. And I would not have to do it if the sim gave accurate range information at setup. Listen, I'm mindful. I'm not going to load 100%. I'm not going to do full fuel on a 55-minute flight. 100% in both left and right tank. That's stupid. Nobody would do that. You know, you're taking on more weight than you need, and it's totally implausible that you would have a full tank of gas in both wings when you have a 55-minute flight in an aircraft with a range of 1,300 miles. It's stupid. So I did the math at the setup page. I looked at the range arc, and I put in gas that would allow us to have a range, a reserve, at least 100 miles. At least 100 miles past where we needed to go. And yet, this crops up. It's frustrating. That does irritate me, because I hate anything unrealistic. I hate having to add gas while we're flying. I'm not a B-2 bomber, okay? I'm not going to get fuel mid-flight while I'm off to bomb some hut. But by the same token, I'm not going to crash the plane. And I'm not going to, oh, let's fly in on, let's turn into a glider. Let's see what happens. No, I'm not going to do that either. So I guess just word to the wise. Put way more gas in than the sim tells you need to. Leveling out at 9,000 feet right now. 31 miles from the airport. From what I said, at Avuru, A-V-U-R-U, Alpha Victor Uniform Romeo Uniform, we need to be at anywhere between 4,000 and 6,000 feet. No lower than 4, no higher than 6. So let's hope we get a descent instruction here. I'm a little concerned that we were told to descend to 8, and then they changed their mind and told us to descend to 9. Go ahead and activate our inertial separator. My hunch is that we'll probably get a further descent instruction when we get to this waypoint, Balce, B-A-L-C-E, Bravo Alpha Lima Charlie Echo. We'll find out together. Beautiful day, though. That's the upside. No issues when it comes to that.
Tree Whiskey, Bravo, you are 28 miles east. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway tree for approach via avoid transition.
Down to 5,000 feet. Clear to Avuru, near Whiskey Bravo.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway tree 4 approach via Avuru transition. Clear to Avuru. Docker Tree Whiskey Bravo.
Good. And then you notice how they cleared us down to 5,000 at Avuru? Isn't that interesting? You remember what I said? The rules require us to be no lower than 4,000, no higher than 6,000 at Avuru, and they just cleared us down to 5,000, which is obviously right in the middle. That's very cool. I can't even get my mind around the algorithms that are involved in this sim to enable it to know, to instruct the user to descend to an altitude that is precisely between the minimum published and maximum published. It's pretty cool. I've said before, when this thing works, it works great. I mean, it's really great when it works. You know, when it doesn't, I want to jump out of a window. But when it's cooperative and it's doing what it's supposed to do, it's really rewarding.
Docker Tree Whiskey Bravo, contact San Jose approach on ONE 20.9er.
20.9, Deer 3 Whiskey Bravo, good day.
Going to 182.0.9 Docker Tree Whiskey Bravo.
Approach, this is Deer 3 Whiskey
San
Bravo
Jose
with you
approach
at
Docker November
6,600
Tree
for
Whiskey
5,000.
Bravo is at 6,700
Clear
feet,
for
descending
34 RNAV
5,000
approach.
feet.
Docker November Tree, 4 Tree Whiskey Bravo, San Jose approach. Continue to abort as planned. Altimeter, 29.84.
2984 now on the altimeter. We're showing 2983, so we'll adjust it just a tiny bit. There we go. Still descending to 5,000. We're at 5,700. There's a Vuru. Here's us. A Vuru's 2 minutes and 55 seconds away. So we're going to level out at 5,000, and we should stay at 5,000 until we cross that waypoint. Let's see if that's what happens. All in all, though, things going swimmingly. Obviously, this is all Cabo San Lucas. For those of you who haven't been here, it's the southern tip, the very southern tip of Baja California. Really a nice area, beautiful, great fishing. Out here, I'm just telling you, having been out in these waters, and there's the actual tip. There's actually a geographic feature right there called Los Arcos. Beautiful, it's called the Arches. Can't see it obviously from this distance, but up close it's really something special. Anyway, I can't tell you how much time I've spent out here fishing for marlin and dorado, as they call it, or as in Hawaii, as it's known in Hawaii, mahi-mahi. Had a lot of good fishing trips out in these waters. A lot of great fishing trips in those waters. I think I first went down there as a kid with my old man, my brother. Really enjoyed it. I mean, really like it. Haven't been there though in years. Wouldn't mind going back. By the way, I meant to mention, remember yesterday I told you Puerta Vallarta was listed as closed to all but military traffic? Interestingly, I think that might be, I don't know, not entirely correct, because I noticed on our flight from Puerta Vallarta up here to Cabo San Lucas today, very short flight, 55 minutes, hour tops, a Delta flight 1865, remember I use real traffic, Delta 1865, which I promptly ran over to flightaware.com and checked, and it was a live flight bound from Puerta Vallarta to LAX. So apparently there's still some travel. That was not an AI in-sim aircraft. It was a real plane. We're level at 5,000 right now. Airspeed's good, 152. Probably a little slower than we need to be, but only showing 6 minutes now to landing, which is probably a pretty accurate representation of our estimated time en route. So we'll find out. Check this later, but our UTC is 2351. So if we're on the ground, wheels down, about 2357, 2358. It's a good sign. Haven't figured out where I'm staying yet tonight.
Docker Tree Whiskey Bravo descend and maintain 2,900 feet. Keep speed below 160 knots.
Below 160. Well, there you go. I'm at 155. That's very good.
Descend and maintain 2,900 feet. Keep speed below 160 knots. Docker Tree Whiskey Bravo.
Down to 2,900. Okay, and descending at 1,200 feet per minute. 2,900 feet. Again, this is a theme on which I've harped. Ooh, we're going a little fast. Well, I said below 160. Sorry about that, ATC. Shallow out our descent a little bit to slow us down. 2,900 is not a randomly selected number. We were cleared down to 2,900 for a reason. And actually, now you can actually see quite clearly SD901. According to the approach plate, we need to be at 2,900. Okay, so you see, don't ask me how they do it, how Microsoft did it, but they're telling me to descend to 2,900 because the published approach altitude for this waypoint on the RNAV runway 34 at Cabo San Lucas International is 2,900. And you watch, I bet you $1 that the next descent altitude is 2,000 because at SD 500,
Tree Whiskey Bravo, you are already 2 miles south of Los Cabos. Contact San Jose Tower on 118.9 when inbound.
off the tower 118 here.
Tower on 118.9 Docker Tree Whiskey Bravo.
So we'll make a right turn here. The airport's over here. We're gonna make a right turn.
Tower November Tree 4 Tree Whiskey Bravo 11 miles south inbound RNAV runway Tree 4 approach.
Holding steady at 160. Get ready for the right turn.
November Tree 4 Tree Whiskey Bravo.
There it is.
Cleared RNAV runway Tree 4 approach. Altimeter 29.85 with Tree 46 at 4.
346 at 4. Is that what she said? 346 at 4?
Cleared
Yes.
RNAV runway Tree 4 approach Docker Tree Whiskey Bravo.
So we're spoiled today because the winds are basically literally out of the same direction as the runway heading. So we're not going to have any crosswind or anything weird. We're descending to 2,900. We're not going to get descent instructions anymore, so we need to handle this ourselves now as men. We know that, I already told you, the altitude we need to be at right here at SD 500 is 2,000. We're at 2,800, so we're good. And actually, you can actually see the runway. There it is. So everything's going great. So, time to put gear down. It's so nice when it works. I remember the first time I went to Cabo, I was shocked by how dry it is. But it basically is Arizona. Okay, anyway, I need to keep a sterile cockpit, so I'm not going to be too chatty here. We know we're going to level off at 2,000, right? Because that's what we told it to do. So what I'm going to do is press the APR approach button, and let's wait till this grabs it. Increase our descent altitude a little bit just to help our autopilot grab the glide path. You see the diamond right here. It's just about to happen. Watch. You'll see this turn green in about 2 seconds. Come on. Don't make me a liar. Oh. Forgot to engage the vertical speed command. It's alright. Watch. It's still going to happen. Watch. Okay? You watching? Pay attention. Landing lights.
Tree Whiskey Bravo, cleared to land runway Tree 4. With Tree 46 at 4.
Let's see what happens here.
Cleared to land runway
Still waiting to grab that.
Tree Whiskey Bravo.
The glide path should happen. Don't make me a liar. Come on. Still descending. Don't need to worry too much about minimums with weather like this.
3 mile final runway 34.
3 mile final. We're just fine on the glide path. A little low, but nothing to stress about.
100.
Pop up here a little bit in the seat. Sorry, you spend so much time staring at the instruments. Flaps! And I finally see a poppy, thank goodness. I don't know if you can make it out. It's 4 reds right now. It was 1 white, 3 reds a second ago. We're a little low on our airspeed there. We're okay. Sorry. I saw it dropping below 80, and anytime you see this red tape start to creep up, get your shit together. Still waiting for it to grab that glide path. I don't. There it goes. Whew, man! I was thinking I was going to make me a liar. Airspeed's good. 86 now. And we do have 2 whites, 2 reds. That's what you want. Looking real good. Yeah, I was struck by how dry it is. I mean, it reminded me of Arizona. I don't know why. I thought it would be more than that. Very tiny headwind we're going into. 3 knots. All right, 85 knots, perfect on the approach speed. Disengaging autopilot. I have the aircraft. Flaps deployed, and I can see the 3 green dots down there at the bottom center of my screen. That's really, you can get away with a lot in this game, but and in real life, but landing with your wheels up is not one of them. Looking perfect. It looks hot outside because it is hot. It's about 89 degrees down here, real-time weather. Runway 34 confirmed. 9,000 foot long runway, no issues there. Idle. All right. All right, I went well enough. No complaints on my end. Just roll out here. I don't even need to hit the brakes. Just kind of coast. Should get instructions here momentarily. Doing 40 knots, so 45 miles an hour.
Delta 3 Whiskey, Bravo exit, runway when able.
Give me some arrows there, ATC. Yeah, this is the upside of landing at a 9,000 foot long runway. I see the navigational aid up there ahead. When you're a 737 or an Airbus A320 type of aircraft that lands at this airport, you need more runway. You really still don't need a 9,000 foot long runway.
Delta 3 Whiskey, Bravo, turn next taxiway.
Yeah, honey, I'm working on it. Okay, don't get excited. But a plane like mine, I think it's a high performance single engine, but it's using my feet here. Bear with me. This is all the room in the world. Okay, good. So we'll stop here at our limit line. See it right there in front of us.
118.9 Whiskey Bravo.
Hit those brakes. There we go. Okay, head over to ground. Ground at 127.6. No, that's ETIS. I'm sorry. We're already tuned to ground at 118.9er. Taxi to parking. Dear Whiskey Bravo.
San Jose, ground Docker November 34 Trey Whiskey Bravo.
Taxi to parking.
Docker November 34 Tree Whiskey Bravo taxi to general
Bring in our flaps.
parking via taxiway Alpha.
You know the drill. Taxi lights. Pulse off.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Docker Trey Whiskey Bravo.
Sun's just going down, but nice flight today. Nice little hour-long jump across the Pacific, southern end of the Gulf of California. We got our other half-hour episode in the ongoing adventures of 3 Whiskey Bravo. I'm thinking back to my times landing at this airport, and it looks pretty damn familiar. The plan after here is head north, head home, back to John Wayne after an absolutely epic trip. I mean, don't take my word for it. Just look at my YouTube posts. I've documented everything. Flagstaff and Missoula, or no, not Missoula, Jackson Hole, and which was beautiful, and then a wonderful long southern flight down to Texas. Then a big tour of the Caribbean, man, just all over the Caribbean. Grand Cayman, ended up eventually as far east as Bahamas. Turned west over to New Orleans, and then south to Belize, Costa Rica, and turn north to Mexico. Still in Mexico now at Cabo. Looks like there's a vehicle right in front of us. I wish this thing had a horn. Alright. Use my feet. Hey, jackass! You're in the taxiway. And now from here back to LA, back to Orange County. My beloved John Wayne. It's very nice to be headed home. But man, oh man, has 3 Whiskey Bravo gotten a lot of miles on it. I think the sim told me I'm like at 112, 114 hours, something like that. In it. There's Gary. How in the hell do they want me to get in here? Oh god, they want me to do some big goofy trip. Yeah, well, here's what I'm going to do instead. How do you like these apples? Okay. Sorry, but it's been a long day. It's another dare. Another TBM. Oof. Try not to clip anybody. Alright. Use these feet. Oh, I'm using my brakes. Okay, taxi lights off. I want to stay inside the airplane. I do not want to go outside to park. It seems ungentlemanly. Right rudder. Left. And bingo. There we go. Parking brake. Engines. Close fuel valve. Acknowledge alarm. Acknowledge master caution. Aux BP off. EP trim off. Fuel selector manual. Lights. Depressurize the airplane. Inertial separator. Pitot. All off. And that is it, if I'm not mistaken, friends. That was a quick shutdown, but getting better at this. And let's go outside. There it is. Kind of an interesting orientation. But you can see I'm dead center where they told me to be. Ah, to my fellow virtual rich people. It's good to be here in Cabo. Okay, so as I recall, it's about a 40-minute... Oh, look, this guy's leaving! Oh, that's fucking awesome. I wonder if that's... Oh, there's nobody... Is there somebody in it? Is that a child? Look. That's funny. Look at this. Somebody's fucking around with the avatars. That has to be. That person cannot see over the goddamn instruments. Look. By the way, how is she turning that way? I wonder if that's real traffic. Well, to my fellow simmers out there who start this game not on the runway, but instead at the ramp, God bless you. Because if you're on Final Approach and some jagoff decides to start his game on the runway, that could be a real party spoiler. So, anyway, whoever that is, have a good flight. Not seeing it on the radar yet, but that might be because they're just getting ready to go. That's somebody. Okay, that's it. Welcome to Cabo. Local time on the UTC is 0007. which in my watch is 5:07 p.m. I think it's 6:07 p.m. their time. Anyway, that's it for now.